Hello everyone, welcome again in your science class. So today we are going to start with our next topic of chapter number 11, that is heart. Right. So as you all know about the heart very well, so heart is an organ which beats continuously as a pump, right? Heartbeat like a pump continuously for what? For the transport of blood carrying other substances with it, right? Through a network of tubes, or we can say that blood vessels, right? So the heart pumps blood throughout our life without stopping or relaxing. It always pumps the blood throughout our life continuously, right? So where is the location of heart? Heart is located in the chest cavity, slightly towards the left side. It lies between the two lungs and above the diaphragm, and the heart is made up of special muscles called as cardiac muscles. Right? And that do not fatigue and are not the solid muscles, right? They are very special muscles, and the size of our heart is roughly equal to our left closed and is enclosed in a protective cover called pericardium fist, and the heart is hollow inside, right? So the heart has generally four components. Let us see the figure of your heart in your books. These are the sections of your heart that is given in your books at page number 124, right? So generally heart has four components. You can say that four compartments as chambers, right? So the upper two chambers of heart, these are the upper two chambers and these are the two lower chambers, right? So the upper two chambers of heart are called as arteries, or we can say that atrium, right? And the lower two chambers are called as ventricles. On the left side of heart are left atrium, okay? This is your left atrium and left ventricle, and on the right side of the heart are right atrium and right ventricle, right? And the artery and ventricles are separated by walls, right? These four chambers are separated by walls, and these are the muscular flaps that allow the blood to flow in only one direction. And the right side of the heart carries deoxygenated blood, right side of the heart carry deoxygenated blood, and that we already discussed in our previous class. And whereas the left side of the heart carries oxygenated blood, right? And the heart is separated by a partition called septum from right side of the heart to the left side of the heart, right? And this prevents mixing of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood inside the heart, right? The left and right side of the heart act as two separate pumps, and the left side of heart pumps the oxygenated blood into the whole body, while the right side of heart pumps the deoxygenated blood to the lungs, right? And the oxygenated blood must be kept separated from deoxygenated blood to supply good amount of oxygen to all the body cells for respiration and release of energy also. But if the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood will mix with each other, the body cells will not be able to get enough oxygen for respiration, due to which less energy will be released in the body, right? This is all about your heart and how it pumps oxygenated blood to whole part of the body and deoxygenated blood back to the lungs, right? Now next topic is heartbeat. Heartbeat, the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of heart muscles that produce a specific sound of lub-dub is called heartbeat, right? And the average heartbeat of an adult person is 72 to 80 times per minute, right? And as you know that sometimes our heart beats more fast while doing some physical work or running or some other exercises. So in that case the blood is pumped more rapidly to the organs to supply more oxygen to the body cells. That's why at that time during heavy exercises or during heavy work our heart beats more rapidly, and it helps in rapid respiration to produce more energy in our body. And the heartbeat is equal to the number of pulse in a minute. And you know that how can we measure our heartbeat? It can be measured with the help of an instrument that is known as stethoscope, right? So heartbeat can be heard by an instrument that is known as stethoscope, and it is used by doctors to amplify the sound of heart, right? So it consists of, कैसा होता है stethoscope? A chest piece that carries a sensitive diaphragm and two earpieces, a tube joining both the parts, right? First chest piece, right, and two earpieces and a tube that join both of them. That is your stethoscope, right? Now next topic is excretion. So, excretion is the process of removal of waste material produced in the cells of the living organism, right? When our body uses food, water and air, it produces some byproducts, or we can say that some unwanted products, right, that our body doesn't require, right? So excretion is the removal of unwanted product. These waste products are toxic or poisonous that cause harm to the body, and these poisonous substances get mixed with blood, may become fatal and may cause the death of an organism. So that's why the waste material must be removed from our body so that a person may stay healthy, right? So let's understand our excretory system. So urea is the major waste product released in our body, and it produced as a waste product of the decomposition of unused food proteins in the liver. And urea is a poisonous substance which must be removed from our body, right? So urea from blood is removed by the kidneys, right, with the help of kidneys. Therefore the kidney is the main excretory organ. Main excretory organ is your kidney. So urea and other unwanted salts when dissolved in water form a yellowish liquid waste called urine, and it consists of 2.5% urea, 2.5% other waste salts and 95% water, right? So an adult human being normally passes out 1 to 1.8 liter of urine per day, and the excretory system collects the urine and removed it. So excretory system mainly consists of kidneys, that is your main excretory organ, and two ureters and a bladder and a urethra, right? So this is all about your excretory system. And our next topic is transportation of substances in plants. This is your last topic, right? So as you know that plants take up water and dissolved minerals from the soil through their roots and transport it to their leaves, and the leaves use this water and mineral for synthesizing their food by the process called as photosynthesis. You all know about photosynthesis very well, right? So the food produced by green plants is transported back to all the parts of plant body, and therefore it is clear that plants also need a transport system. So here a process is used, that is transpiration. So let us understand what is transpiration. So the process of evaporation of water through the stomata present on the surface of leaves is called Transpiration, and the continuous evaporation of water from the leaves produces an upward pull called a suction force. With the help of suction force, roots can provide water to all the parts of the body, right? So this force pulls the water from roots upward through the stem, branches and finally to the leaves of the plant, and through transpiration causes loss of water from the plant. Still, it is necessary process for plant due to the following reasons. First of all, this suction pull that caused due to the evaporation of water helps to draw water to a great height of tall trees, and it produces a cooling effect on the plant and therefore prevents the plant from the damage caused by heat of sunlight. And lastly, it also helps in the transport of water and minerals to the leaves for performing photosynthesis in them, right? So that's why a transpiration process is very important, right? So this is all about this chapter, that is transportation in animals and plants. Thanks. Have a great day.